Have you ever stopped to think about how we go from just seeing the world to actually understanding it? From that initial, confusing mass of sights and sounds to a clear, rational grasp of how things really work? Well, this explainer is all about that incredible mental leap. So let's dive in.
Right, so here's the central idea, the big takeaway from the get-go. Knowledge isn't something that's just passively beamed into our heads. Nope, it's something we actively build. Our mind takes all this raw data and totally transforms it, making a jump from a lower state of knowing to a much higher one. It's a process, not a download.
So where does a journey like this even begin? Well, it starts with the world as we first meet it. Raw, unfiltered, just bombarding our senses. This is what we call the world of phenomena.
This quote really captures that first contact with reality perfectly. When we experience something brand new, we only see the surface, the phenomenal side. Think about visiting a new city for the very first time. You see streets, buildings, faces, but they're all just these separate, disconnected impressions, right? You don't actually understand the city itself, not yet.
And this has a name. It's called perceptual knowledge. It's based purely on our senses and those first impressions. At this point, we're basically just data collectors. We can't form any deep concepts or draw logical conclusions. We can see that things are happening, sure, but we have absolutely no idea why.
But of course, we don't just stay in that state of confusion. Our brain does something, well, incredible. It makes a leap. And this is the most crucial moment in our whole journey to understanding. This is the leap into cognition.
Now, pay attention to the wording here because it's really important. This isn't some slow, gradual climb. The source calls it a sudden change, a leap. As we keep gathering more and more experiences, our brain suddenly reorganizes all that chaotic sensory data. It's like all those scattered puzzle pieces just click into place. And that's when concepts are formed.
So if we were to map it out, the path looks something like this. We start with that raw sensory data. Then, our mind gets to work reconstructing it, arranging things, sorting them, connecting the dots. And then comes the leap, that sudden aha moment of insight. And from that leap, concepts are formed. We've officially moved beyond just seeing the pieces to grasping the whole picture, the very essence of the thing.
And this leap creates a really profound difference between two fundamentally different types of knowledge. You could say it's like the difference between just looking at the cover of a book and actually understanding the story inside.
This is really the key contrast. On one side, you've got perceptual knowledge. That's like seeing all the gears of a clock scattered on a table. But on the other side, there's rational knowledge, and that's understanding how all those gears fit together to actually make the clock work. It's about the complete picture, the whole shebang, and all those hidden connections that make it tick.
I mean, this quote just nails it. Perception solves the problem of what we're seeing, but it takes theory to solve the problem of why we're seeing it. Theory is what gets to the essence. Truth, in this sense, isn't something you can just see with your eyes. It's something you have to grasp with your mind. Okay, so we've made the leap. We've formed this cool theory that seems to explain the essence of something. Great. But how do we know we're actually right? This brings us to the final and maybe the most important test of all.
And this really is the big question, isn't it? We've built this elegant idea in our heads, but how do we prove that it actually lines up with reality? How do we know it's not just a really compelling story we've told ourselves? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. The ultimate test of truth isn't some big debate or how elegant the theory sounds. The only real measure is practice. We have to take our knowledge and apply it back to the real world. Does it actually work? Does it give us the results we predicted? That right there is how truth gets verified. And this is where our whole journey comes full circle. The entire process of knowing, from that very first sense perception, all of it starts from our active engagement with the world, from practice.
And this shows us the complete cycle. See, knowledge isn't just a one-way street from practice to theory. It's a continuous loop. We act, we perceive, we take that leap to understanding, and then we have to apply that understanding right back into practice. And every time we go through that cycle, our knowledge gets even deeper.
And this gets us to the ultimate point. The goal isn't just to be an armchair philosopher who can explain how the world works. The real purpose of understanding the laws of reality is to actively change it. A theory's true value is only revealed when it guides real-world action.
So, in the end, this whole journey is really about the incredible power of human thought. It's about our ability to move from the surface to the substance, from the fragment to the whole, from the effect to the cause.
It's a reminder that to truly think is always to go beyond what is simply seen.